Wait for it. Wait for it. Hello. Hello everyone, this is Chris. I'm making this video for a friend. Here's the tools you'll need. If you guys can see it, you're gonna need a 21 millimeter socket to get the bracket off. You gotta take the bracket off with the caliper. You need .4 brake fluid. It can withstand more heat. Get you a nice stepping stool to sit on. Yeah, and by the way, this is a 2016 Ford F-150 XLT. I'm gonna be working on the passenger side. I already did the driver's side. I took off the bracket with the caliper, and actually that's how they sell it at AutoZone. That's where I got my parts from. But I'm gonna go back over the tools you'll need. First, you need a jack, able to handle the weight. A jack stand. Like I said, get the .4 brake fluid for heavier vehicles. It can withstand the heat. Next, you'll need a breaker bar. That's next to the brake fluid here. I got most of these tools from Harbor Freight. Next to the breaker bar is, I may not know the exact name for things, but there's the image for you. It's kind of like a vice grip, but it's got a flat nose on it to pinch, and I use that to pinch the hose shut, the brake line hose shut, so when I do take the brake line off of the caliper, it won't leak out or pull in air. Next is the C-clamp, and then you want stepping stool or some type of stool to sit down on to work. And that's my Ryobi lug. I think that's for taking off lugs, but it's not the powerful one. They have one more stronger than that one. I usually loosen the lugs and use that to remove them fast and put them back on fast. But if you have more heavy duty one, that'll take them off, put them on. I'm old school. I like to use the breaker bar to put them on the lugs. And these the socket set, I got it from Harbor Freight as well. Get you one of those. I believe that those are in millimeters. Yeah, and last but not least, get your ratchet and smaller wrenches. I'll go through the sizes as I go. Yeah, for the purpose of this video, this is what the caliper looks like connected to the bracket, and what you're looking at is the old and the new part. You have to take the old off the vehicle to the part store to be able to get the discount on the new part. They call it the core. They do sell the caliper separate from the brackets if you guys are ever working on just changing out your calipers. But in this instance, for parts, they don't sell it separate at AutoZone. You have to buy them both together. But it's okay because it's good to replace the boots and everything. Okay, moving right along. This video, I basically took pictures and I'm going to talk while showing the pictures. You may see a few videos, but thank you for putting up with my video. I hope it's clear enough. But here what you're looking at is a knee pad. You can put on two, but I usually put on one for the knee that I'm always going down on. You might want to get you one of those. Yeah, for safety purposes, always put a chalk on your back wheels so the vehicle won't move on you. You can put two on one tire so it won't roll backwards or forward. Yeah, what you're looking at here is the driver's side wheel. Already done that one. I did it last week, and the following week the other one started acting up, so it was perfect. So now I'm going to change out both the driver's side and the passenger side. But what you're looking at here is a brand new part. Yeah, some stuff that I do in this video, I won't recommend it. I'm gonna be honest. I want to tell you guys, don't jack up any large vehicle on gravel like you see me doing here. Make sure it's a flat surface. If you're gonna be on gravel, use a steel plate and put the jack on the steel plate. But you want to place your jack in a good spot, you know, a nice sturdy spot here and close to the wheel but not touching the wheel like you see here. And I'm going in from the front of the vehicle. So okay, what you're looking at here is the rotor is off, the caliper's off, and the bracket's off, as you can see. Let me blow it up. But notice where I put the tire. Most people wouldn't do this, but it's just an old school trick. Always put the tire on the body underneath, you know, so say if the jack loses its hydraulics, the frame of the truck will fall on that wheel, and the rotor and all the parts that the jack is holding won't completely fall flat to the ground. You'll have space enough to get the jack back under there. Okay, what you're looking at here is the caliper with the bracket. See the bolts there in the tray? Let me blow it up. I got them in the tray next to the lug nuts. Those are 21, they're metric 21, and the sockets that take off the lugs, they actually fit perfectly on those. So that's what I use to get them off, and I use the breaker bar to break them. And then once they're loose enough, I use my Ryobi to pull it off. And those are 21 metric. Okay, what you're seeing here is the vice grips, where they have like a flat plate made onto vice grips. You can buy them that way, and I use it to pinch off the brake line here, because as you can see, the end of it, the fluid will run out of that. Gravity will pull it out. So by me clamping it off here, and be careful doing that because you don't want to rupture it or break it. But it held pretty good. As you can see, it's nothing leaking out of there. And you see the housing here, the bracket was connected to that. but I just took this picture to show this is the next step, the next stage. And as you can see, I have a jack stand here, and it has to be fitted tightly, holding on a firm part of the frame underneath. You don't want it gap like you see here in the picture. Make sure you secure all of this and get a heavy, more heavy duty one for a truck. That one here is for a car. Safety is your number one top priority. Always remember that. Okay, when you're taking the hydraulic line off of the caliper, this is an image of how you want the washers to be. Be careful, and when you take it off the old, always notice the way the old is and put things back the way that it was taken off. And they have a hole there in the caliper housing to put that I don't know what to call that, but you have to fit it in there. And be careful doing this process. I'm going to show you what I do before I attach the new hose. Before I attach the new housing. I'm going to show you what I do. I don't just put it on dry, like no fluid inside of here, inside of the housing, because when you take the old one off, fluid will leak out of it because it's full of fluid. Never put a dry one on. Okay, get you a little measuring cup like you see here. I borrowed it from the iron. That's how you fill up an iron. Use .4 for heavy duty vehicles, not .3. This is the brand new caliper with the bracket. Be careful doing this. I'm doing it on my front passenger side seat with a towel, but be safe and do it on a table. I'm taking chances here. Okay, watch carefully. I'm gonna try to balance this thing out. It's gonna keep falling over on me until I get it in a balanced position. But I'm gonna remove that that bolt, and that's where you pour the fluid down inside of this housing. That rubber boot there is how you bleed the caliper. See that rubber boot? That's how you bleed them to get the air out of the line. You don't want air in the hydraulic system. You want it all fluid. And actually, I'm gonna set up an appointment to get it bled. All your brake pads have to be changed. All your calipers, everything has to be good for you to get a good bleed job. Yep, you see those washers, copper washers. Make sure you don't screw those up, don't mix those up and put them on wrong. Put them on the way they were meant to go on. Always remember that. Okay, being very careful. Hope you guys got a steady hand. Fill that up. Don't put it on dry. It's just I just recommend that. It don't take much because it's not pushed out. It's not pushed all the way out. If it was pushed all the way out, then it would take more fluid. And it's full. That's enough right there. And then put your washers on there the right way. I'm not I still have to connect the hydraulic line. I'm just putting that on there to transport it. I'm not gonna have it open, you know, because it's gonna leak out. It's gonna just all come back out on me. So I don't have a video showing me attaching the hydraulic line, but see that hole? That's what you're gonna put that bracket in. Yeah, you guys forgive me for not knowing proper names, but on that hydraulic line there is basically I don't know what to call it. It's a good guide. It's so you know to put it on that way. Put that stem back in the hole like you're seeing here, and is 2 washers on the top and 1 on the bottom next to the housing. That's the way it came off. And you have to look at the manual to know the torque. You want to torque these bolts at specified torques. I recommend getting a Haynes or Chilton manual for your vehicle to know the torque. Get a torque wrench. Do it right. Okay, what you're seeing here is a clip that it's going to be 4 clips per side. They will come with the housing, and you want to put those clips out. Put the bulgy part out on the outer and the inner side. I'll show you what the clip looks like not installed. Okay, and again, I don't know the proper name for this clip, but the brake pads rest inside of these. Make sure you put these on. It'll be loose. The brake pad will be rattling in there. It won't be snug tight if you don't have these clips. But that's what it looks like. Not installed. Okay, and again, this is the old part taken to AutoZone. I took a picture of it sitting on the counter, and it's always good to bring the old parts to the parts store to match them up, because believe it or not, some people, they return old parts in a new box. They take their chances, right? And I've seen this. Not, I didn't see it happen, but I heard tell of it happening where people were cheating and getting money. They put the old part in the box. The person working there didn't open it and check it, and they got the money. So, but to match up parts, always bring the old one in and just put it side by side with it and make sure everything is precise. So I believe this was like $90 and some change for the caliper and the bracket. Okay, what you're seeing here is let's see, what is that? I'm actually using grip pliers to hold the inside of the pins. I don't know what to call those pins, but you have to take the bolt out of that to remove the caliper from the bracket. You don't want to try to install both of them at the same time. Put the bracket on first. And as you can see, the hydraulic line is hooked up to the new caliper, and it's nice and tightened too. Everything's ready to go with that. And now I'm disconnecting the bracket from the caliper. Then you'll put the caliper on last with the brake pads. So that's what you're seeing here. And I had to hold it snug with the grip pliers in order to take the bolt out. And forgive me for not using correct terminology. And I hope these pictures are clear enough, and this video is really helping you guys. Okay, next step. What you guys are seeing here is the bracket only without the caliper. And that last image you saw, I was taking it apart from it. And I only put the 21mm bolt in the top here only. One goes in the top, one goes in the bottom. That's what you're seeing here. Make sure those boots stay in place, because inside of those boots is grease for those pins. I don't know what to call those pins, but whenever you do brake jobs, even if it's not on a new caliper, always grease those pins. That keeps the caliper from sticking and riding the rotor. It's supposed to come back out away from it. That's why you want to keep that nice and sanded. Keep the pins sanded and greased. Let's see. So, and you see at the bottom here those clips that come with the new part. They're installed. That's how they should look. Okay, next step, you see I got my breaker bar, tightening the bottom 21mm bolt. I believe the top is already nice and tightened, and like I said, you guys have to tighten it to certain pounds. Make sure you get the manual and do everything correctly. Never let your caliper hang on your hydraulic line. You can even get a clothes hanger and hold that caliper up. See it at the top here? I got it setting there. It's heavy too. The bigger the vehicle, the heavier the parts, everyone. But make sure you do it right. And what you're seeing here is just the bracket. And you have to put the bracket on the rotor, on the lugs. It works that way. Okay, the next step is putting the brake pads inside of those clips. One will go on the inside, one will go on the outside, the shape of the rotor, as you see it being put on here. Once you put those on, the caliper that's on top here should slide right on. If it's pushed all the way in, it has to be all the way in. I'm gonna try to find a picture to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the old part, but see the two round things inside the housing? Those have to be pressed all the way in flush. When you're pushing those in, you have to use the old brake pad, because it'll grab both of them, and you use that C-clamp that you saw, that I showed you guys, to press them both in at the same time. But the new part they were already pressed in. That's how you change brakes, because the pads will be brand new and you can't get them on unless you push that in. I want to thank you all for putting up with this video. It could be more professional. I don't have all the names for all the parts, and I know that there's certified mechanics probably watching this. If you guys can help out in the comments and give the names for things, I would appreciate it. I did put a caution and warning in this video and recommended that regular people go and get this professionally done. But to be honest, guys, a lot of us, we're living paycheck to paycheck. We don't have all this money, so it happens. And I do want all of you out there who's trying to do your own work, be safe, and do view the comments. Hopefully those guys, the professionals, will put something in there to help you guys out further. But here I put the caliper back in place. It went on really easy, and as you can see, everything is put in place. I did put one lug nut at the bottom there to hold that rotor in place, because if I didn't put that there, that thing will keep moving around on me. I just like to keep it in one place while I'm doing my work, and it's not tight at all. I hand tighten the lug nut. So this is a completed job. When you guys do this work, make sure you do the correct poundage on every bolt. Don't over tighten anything. Make sure when the car's running or not running, have a person to press the brakes from the inside and make sure there's no leaks. You know, this is very serious work, guys. But the professionals, you guys already know, there's people out there working on their own cars, and nobody can stop it, because it's just getting ridiculous out here, the cost of living. So you guys do be safe. I can't overemphasize that. Okay, everyone, this is Chris signing off. I hope you guys were enlightened by this video. I hope it helped you. Please don't do this if you're not confident. Some people can do this work really fast. They just have a gift. Don't try to do this work if you're not confident. But like I said, if you got the money, get it done professionally. But the shops, they're gonna have you do the fronts and the backs. Everything has to be perfection. They can't let you leave that shop seeing something's wrong. You know, they can get in trouble for it. So again, you guys be safe. This is Chris. I made this video for a friend. Shout out to Keith. Yeah, I look forward to working with you when we're together, and we can do everything step by step. All right, you guys, signing off. Take care.